You know, if you've ever stared at a trading chart, you know it's a battle, right? But here's the thing. The most critical war, the one that really matters, isn't happening on your screen. Nope. It's the one that's raging inside your own head. And that unseen war, the mental one, that is, without a doubt, the most dangerous. Seriously, it's the place where fortunes are actually won or lost, way before you even think about clicking buy or sell.
So let's just break this down, okay? On one side, you've got the chart. This is all your technical skills, your strategies, your analysis, the stuff we all love to study and geek out on. But then there's the other side, the mind. And this is the real battlefield. We're talking fear, greed, ego, discipline. And let me tell you, if you lose the war on this side, all those skills you have with a chart, they are not going to save you.
All right, so how in the world do you actually win this war? Well, the very first step is figuring out who the real enemy is. And here's a spoiler. It's not the market. It's those invisible demons inside your own head that hijack your decision-making when you least expect it. And this right here, this is the foundational rule. Emotional awareness isn't about trying to be a robot and just suppressing all your feelings. No way. It's the complete opposite. It's about learning to spot that little flash of fear, or that sudden surge of greed, or that whisper of your ego before it makes you do something stupid. You see the emotion, you acknowledge it, but you don't become it.
Okay, let's talk about probably the most infamous demon of them all, tilt. Now, when most people hear tilt, they think of, just pure rage. But it's so much more subtle than that. It can be any emotional state, frustration, boredom, even being overexcited that causes you to just completely ditch your strategy. It's that moment where your logical brain has totally checked out, but your hands just keep on trading, driven by pure, raw emotion. So how do you even begin to fight something you can't see? Simple. You make it visible. You're going to create what we'll call a tilt tracker. The second you feel that emotional shift, you write it down. What was the trigger? Did your stop loss get hit? That point where your system automatically sells to cap your losses? Or did you miss a big move? Then what were you thinking? Was it something like, I'll show this market who's boss? And finally, what did you actually do? See, this isn't just a diary. Think of it more like an MRI of your trading mind. It's going to reveal the exact patterns that are costing you real money.
But, it's not just about these inner demons. The crazy thing is, both winning and losing set their own unique and, equally dangerous psychological traps. And this slide just perfectly lays out the two-headed monster of ego. Think about it. After a few wins, what does your ego whisper? You're a genius. You can't lose. Go on, risk bigger. Then, after a loss, that same ego screams, the market just stole from you. You got to get it back. Risk bigger. Do you see it? The outcome is exactly the same. You throw your system out the window and take on ridiculous risks. One comes from arrogance, the other from anger, but they both come from the same place, your ego.
So how do you handle that high you get from winning? All right, here are 3 things you can do. First, practice what's called winning streak humility. You got to remind yourself that this hot streak isn't going to last forever. Second, bring in a risk freeze rule. It's simple. After, say, 2 or 3 wins in a row, you are forbidden from increasing your risk. And last, but maybe most important, change what you celebrate. Get excited about executing your plan perfectly, not just about the profit. Trust me, a disciplined loss is 1,000,000 times better than a lucky win.
And what about the flip side? When a loss just makes you see red, you need an emergency shutdown protocol. Seriously, the second that trade hits its stop loss, that's it. You're done. For at least 5 minutes, you get up and walk away from the screen. No exceptions. And during that break, grab your journal and write down all those angry thoughts. Get that poison out on the paper, not back into the market. Then, and only then, you can calmly reflect. Was it actually a bad trade, or was it a good trade that just didn't work out this time? You've got to replace that desire for revenge with calm reflection.
But the battle doesn't stop with ego, does it? Oh no. There's this constant hum of anxiety that just plagues every trader. We're talking about the anxiety of missing out, and its evil twin, the anxiety of actually pulling the trigger.
Oh, you definitely know this feeling. A stock just starts ripping, just flying upwards, and your heart starts pounding in your chest. Your brain is just screaming at you, this is it, this is the one. If I miss this, I am going to regret it forever. Well, that, my friends, is FOMO, the fear of missing out. And it's like a powerful virus that turns even the most calm, rational trader into an impulsive chaser.
So what's the cure for FOMO? A super strict patience protocol. Your new mantra has to be no setup, no trade. Full stop. If you feel that anxious energy building up, set a 15-minute timer. For those 15 minutes, you are only allowed to watch. That's it. Don't chase rockets. Let the market come back down to you. And please, above all else, trust me on this. The market will always offer another opportunity. This is not the last one.
But then there's the other side of anxiety, right? The opposite problem. You see your perfect setup. Everything is lined up. Your plan is screaming go, and you just freeze. You hesitate. That is analysis paralysis. It's that crippling fear of being wrong, and it's born from a lack of confidence and its nasty partner, perfectionism. Breaking free from that paralysis, it takes a total mindset shift. Here's how you do it. First, you have to accept imperfection. There's no such thing as a 100% certain trade. It just doesn't exist. You're trading probabilities. You're not a fortune teller. Second, you have to redefine what a good trade even is. It has nothing to do with the outcome. A good trade is one where you followed your rules, period, win or lose. And finally, you have to make a conscious choice. Choose action over anxiety. Trust all the prep work you've done and just execute the plan.
Okay, so we've met our inner demons. We've navigated the crazy traps of both winning and losing. We've confronted our anxieties head-on. Now, it's time to forge the one ultimate weapon that can conquer all of it.
And this, right here, is the ultimate truth of trading. This isn't about motivation. It's not about feeling like it. Discipline is the muscle you build that allows you to execute your plan even when every single emotion inside you is screaming to do the exact opposite. It is the bridge between your great strategy and your actual results.
And building this discipline, it's a daily practice. It's not a one-and-done thing. So here's your game plan. Make your decisions binary, black and white. Either a trade fits your plan, yes, or it doesn't, no. There is no maybe. Create strict, non-negotiable rituals that you do every single day before you even think about trading. And this is crucial. When you break a rule, and trust me, you will, you must journal it. You have to force yourself to confront that mistake. Just aim to be 1% more disciplined each day. It's all about consistency, not perfection.
Because in the end, the market is the most brutally honest mirror you will ever look into. It reflects everything. Your fear, your greed, your ego, your discipline, it shows it all, right back at you. Winning this mental game, it's never been about beating the market. It's about mastering yourself. So the only question that really matters is this. When you look into that mirror, what does it show you?